Entendido. Well, hello. My name is Jose Eduardo Salgado. This is the case of Michelin. I'm managing multinational cross-cultural teams for the organization and behavior class at the Glenda program at UT Dallas. Well, my approach to implementing the case was to build a template where I divided first the situation arising, second the feature to consider, third the issue at hand or the effect that the situation is causing within the organization, and last the suggestion that I'm making as an external consultant to Olivier in order for him to be aware of the importance that the cross-cultural difference, the leadership style, and the communication are having on his success on implementing the turnaround in the business unit at hand. First, we are clearly facing a situation where Olivier's leadership style is not being accepted and understood by the members of the organization in the United States, mainly because of the difference in the cultural aspect present between the collectivism and individualism of France and the USA as countries. Also, the social distancing at the workplace, the lack of empathy, the ineffectiveness of the communication system of the leaders toward the team what is causing is that it's causing a distorted performance feedback system with a very short-term vision, and this is derived from the pressure of the need to improve the results of the business unit. For this, it is necessary to rethink the communication strategy, consistent inclusion and empathy, and the approachment to establish relationships and links between the leader and his team that once formed will allow for the transmission of the sense of urgency through the creation of a common purpose and an inclusive common vision where employees are empowered to give the best of themselves. So, the situations arising, we are facing an unmotivated team, the American team. We are also facing a frown upon the team leader and the team. We are facing a lack of adaptation to a leadership style. We are facing lack of results, lack of dynamics in the implementation of the strategy, possibility of rotation, and uncommitted people. This is mainly due to power distance, collectivism, and leadership style that is not fitting well within the cultural organizational setting in Michelin and also the American individualistic approach. Also, we have a distorted project image of the personality of the leader, and he's assuming that what worked well in Europe will work well in the USA, and that is not the case. A lack of communication, lack of empathy, lack of cohesion in teams is present. We also are facing a lack of commitment, a lack of inclusion, the lack of long-term orientation and affectivity and linking together as people. We have a lack of team alignment around the strategy, a lack of a common vision, which is caused mainly by a lack of purpose. We have a weak sense of belonging, a low empowerment atmosphere, a low perception of job enrichment and meaningful work, which will cause probably job rotation and not being feeling as part of a team. We have a culture clash with leadership style that is caused by a lack of empathy. So this is reflecting as a result on the leader not achieving the results desired, the lack of adaptation to the culture of the USA, and also to the organizational culture present within the Michelin setting in America. Individualism against collectivism, a lack of clarity in communication, lack of teamwork. There are groups and no teams. And we are at the storming stage of the team forming. Include the team in decision making and convey the urgency of the problem. We are finding the timings and losings of achieving results and result oriented in the short term due to the pressure of a turnaround. So we have to perceive a more long-term orientation. We have lack of adaptation to social norms and the culture prevailing in mission. We have a lack of trust and knowledge within the leaders. So what do we suggest? We suggest a joint creation of a purpose and a vision that takes into account cultural differences, study and learn in depth the cultural difference between Europe and the United States, and the organizational culture of Michelin USA. We got to focus our efforts to establish communication with key leaders to permeate a sense of belonging throughout the company, foster closeness and improve social skills, promote cohesion in groups to form teams, resist the storming stage through the establishment of close relationships with key leaders and the leader. Take into account cultural and individual difference in the strategic implementation of the plan and be flexible. Empower people to delegate, have an open emotional communication, establish emotional ties with the leader, and become a people's person first. Focus on individuals, relationships, and results will come. Thank you and good night.
Como dice, hay algunas faltas de ortografía.